What's up my friends, it's Doctor.Gainz here, and in this channel we talk about all things gains. In today's video, we're going to be talking about one of the most fundamental movements in calisthenics, the push-up. Now the push-up is king when it comes to bodyweight training because it is so effective at building strength and muscle, and best of all, it could be done anywhere. In today's video, we're going to do two things. First, we're going to put my push-ups to the test and see what my max is. The last time I tried this, I was hitting around 120 push-ups, 110 non-stop, and then a very quick pause, followed by another 10. And today, we're going to test out how many I could do. After I test my max, I'm going to discuss the idea of doing push-ups every single day. It's a challenge you might have seen online where people do push-ups every day for 30 days or something along those lines. And I'm actually going to attempt this challenge. I'm going to do 300 push-ups every single day for at least 30 days, so that would be 9,000 or more push-ups in 1 month.
It's over 9,000! What? 9,000?
Now, let's get on to that push-up challenge. And of course, if you're liking this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Now, let's get to it. So there you have it, my friends, 130 push-ups in one set. Now it was 120 push-ups non-stop, and then I slowed down just a little bit for those last 10, but 130, I'm pretty satisfied. That is a new max for me, and I haven't tested it in a while. I will say my first 60 or so push-ups, maybe that first half, first 60%, I wasn't the biggest fan of the form. Similar to my last push-up video, which you could check out here, I actually found I wasn't locking out fully. Even though I was using that push-up bar, it was maybe like a 90, 85, 90% lockout at the top and hitting 90 degrees on the way down though. But I still like to see that full extension 100% lockout, which wasn't there for those first half of the reps. Regardless, I was very impressed. 120, 130 is not an easy feat to accomplish, and it's my new max, and it leads me into setting a goal for my next max. Next time I hit my max push-ups, I want to hit 130. So the same exact number, but I want to make sure every rep has that full lockout. So this is going to lead me into my next point. I'm going to start training push-ups for the next 30 days. I'm going to do at least 300 push-ups a day for 30 days, and we're going to see if I get any improvement, if it gets me closer to that 130 mark with full extension, full range of motion on every single rep, and non-stop. So I don't want to have to take any pause at the top, just purely unbroken. So now that we know where I stand with my max push-ups and the goal that I want to achieve, let's talk about this idea that I'm going to attempt, which is doing push-ups every single day for 30 days. You might be wondering if this is even an effective way of training, or if it's counterproductive, or if it even makes any difference if it's right for you or if it's not right for you. And I'm going to break it down in simple terms so you could know if this is something you should even attempt. It really all boils down to two factors: how you approach doing the push-ups and your current level of pushing strength. Now I'm going to start with the first one, how you approach doing the push-ups. Let's say I want to do 300 push-ups. There are so many different ways I could approach it. I could approach it by doing 30 sets of 10, I could do 10 sets of 30, I could do 3 sets of 100, but however I break down the volume and intensity of the workout is going to dictate the stress and the demand that it puts on my body. So if I'm trying to knock out 300 push-ups under 5 minutes, it's going to be extremely demanding, and I'll probably feel it the next day, get pretty good muscle breakdown, and be pretty sore. But if I try to do the 300 push-ups in 30 minutes, just doing 10 a minute for half an hour, it's really going to be like a warm-up. It's not going to cause much muscle stress or damage, and it really won't help me progress and get stronger. So how you manage your volume and your intensity are going to be two huge factors. When I'm doing my push-ups, I'm going to have to be conscious of my rest time and how many reps I'm doing per set. So the longer I rest and the less reps I do per set, the less demanding it's going to be. So when I'm doing push-ups every single day for 30 days, I obviously want to condition myself. I don't want to damage myself. I want to manage the volume and intensity in a way that's going to allow me time to rest, recover, and also challenge myself a little bit. So let's say one day I decide to go pretty hard and hit my 300 push-ups in under 6 minutes. Now the next day I'm going to be pretty sore, so I'm not going to try to do the same thing again. That's how people get injured. That's how I overtrain. On day 2, I'll wind things back a little bit, and I might do my 300 push-ups over the course of 20 minutes, or maybe I'll do 100 in the morning, 100 in the afternoon, 100 in the evening, just to get that motion going, to get blood flowing, and to help with rest. Because if I do, let's say, 4 sets of 25, that's 100. If I do that in the morning, if I do it in the afternoon, and I do it in the evening, in no way is that going to be demanding for my body, and it's still going to allow me to recover and rebuild my muscles the next day. So when you're handling your volume and your intensity, you need to be conscious of how sore you are from doing it the next day, what you might be working out later in the week, and what volume you think you can handle on a certain day. So to wrap up that point, you just have to really be conscious of your volume and your intensity. You want to find a nice balance between rest time and number of reps per set, so you can make sure some days will challenge you and some days will be designed towards recovering and maybe perfecting that push-up technique. If you're managing your workouts and your program in this way, I wouldn't be too concerned about overtraining if you're being very conscious of your fatigue levels. If you look at so many major sports, let's say soccer, cycling, basketball, things of that nature, the athletes are training their legs every single day, but they're not overtraining, they're not getting injured too much, and they're actually getting stronger, faster, jumping higher, and so much more while training the same muscle groups every single day. And the reason for this is because they're managing intensity. It's not game day every single day. Some days are active recovery, some days are light practice, some days are harder practice, and some days are game day. So I'm going to take the same approach when doing the push-ups, managing each day and each week for the 4 weeks, so that way I could properly build strength, build form, build technique, while also allowing my body sometimes to take an active recovery and slow down. So the second factor on this challenge is your current level of pushing strength. As you saw, I just did 130 push-ups non-stop. At my current level, it wouldn't be too challenging to do 3 sets of 100 throughout the day, but somebody else who can't even do 10 push-ups, if they're trying 300 push-ups in one day, they're gonna mess themselves up for the next few days. So you really have to be conscious of your current level. I think most people could get away with doing push-ups every single day. You just have to manage your volume in accordance to the current level that you're at. So if your max push-ups is like 30, you probably don't want to do 300 push-ups because you're going to have to really push yourself and hit your max push-ups 10 times just to hit your 300. So do it in accordance with your current level. If you're super strong at push-ups, you might be able to handle 150, 200, or 300 or more in a day. If you're a beginner, a good place to start might be 20, 30, maybe 40 push-ups a day, even if it's starting from your knee push-ups. But as long as you're managing your volume and intensity, like I mentioned on my first point, you should be able to safely do it every single day. Listen to your body and use your best judgment, and you could probably see some progress. So to wrap things up, my friends, Push-ups are the king of calisthenics. Everybody should train to get stronger at them. It's going to have so much carryover in your strength in any other lifts, your overall athleticism, and your aesthetics. So make sure you're adding those to your routine. You don't necessarily have to add push-ups every single day unless you're really trying to get better at it. And if you are, be careful, be conscious, be mindful of how you take that approach. And again, if you haven't hit that like button or subscribe button yet, make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and it helps us all get more gains. So with that being said, I'll catch you on the next video.